is on.
All right. So, Jay, I was thinking that in the money we need to add the investments. There's nothing about the investments.
But the investments is not
It's
a management.
executive. It's executive, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. All right. So I linked here where I could find the management spreadsheet for these priorities, and otherwise the second best document. All right. So we're back here. I think 50% complete. We need to now start doing the weekly check-ins, and and that would be very good for the deadlines updates. Then we have worker. So I'm managing that. So worker coordination, onboarding, and training. That's here. It's a lot of priorities. I don't know if we want to break it down. Maybe we should at least break it down to the decision makers, right? Decision makers.
But I think it should be simpler than that, because I feel like the management on the training is simply just moving it forward and giving an update on it, right? It's like, what is the difference between the decision maker training and, for example, a worker like Moth? What's the difference between Moth and
The process is the same.
Yeah, the process is exactly the same. Yeah, that's my point.
I mean, here we are acknowledging that we need to improve. We are improving, but still status is bad. Need to organize links for decision makers. Still need to do a proper onboarding verification. Need to check on the training through worker criteria. So here, I mean, complete. It's a bit better. It's not so bad. We had also the session with Abubakar. We had some onboarding sessions. We did some status on the onboarding of Joyce Moss and Stacy. Also mine, I think. But I will give something more than 1%, Jay. Let's say
10%.
10%. Yeah.
Okay, and how many have checked in with the team?
No, we didn't do. We didn't get to a complete onboarding verification to update the team. We did some onboarding verification on the list for Joyce, Moss, Stacy, and also myself. But it's in the notes still. We need to do a proper complete onboarding verification on everybody.
I guess since we're saying that it's onboarding and training, so I think very little training has happened, but since it's onboarding and training, there's definitely some onboarding that's going on.
Yeah.
You include both the onboarding and the training. There's onboarding is definitely doing a lot better than training.
Yeah, I mean, from last time, I wouldn't say 25. I would say now we are maybe at 25. Last time it was zero. We weren't doing nothing. We weren't even thinking about it. Yeah. To properly on board, like Joyce, for example. Yeah, now it's a bit better. 20% is still red, right? Okay. Then we have the multimedia website updates, SVG. I mean, this is a good okay. I would say okay. Right? We are almost we are very close with the SVG 2 over, and but we need now to update the whole priorities, given that we are evolving with the new prime trajectory on the FQV umbrella showcase 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 website launch. Right. So I think that given the trajectory of before, we were maybe at 75%, 70% with SVG, right? But given the new trajectory now, its website is it's more broad. We have at least other 3 websites for 4 websites that need to be
So in
launched.
terms of just, we haven't made those decisions yet, so let's wait on all of the bigger picture. But as far as just like the current situation, like who is working on the website like in the last week or 2?
No, 0. I haven't worked.
So I mean, I understand your update and the whole context, but I think you're putting it in the perspective of the website, not the management, right? Because the management itself, like there's nothing happening. No one's working on the website.
Okay, yeah.
So I mean, I think the status is a little bit murkier than okay. So
Mm-hmm.
and the current status is
It's
that
tough.
yes, some work happened on the website. You know, primarily me, Mamoon was working on it a little bit, right? But he had to go work on his family crisis. So you know, yeah, not a lot happening on the website. But you know, is that a problem or not? I don't know. But the point is that we shouldn't sugarcoat the idea that the website has been going so good. So, I mean, we could say maybe last time there was more work happening on the website. I mean, you're saying it's basically in the yellow, but that this time there's still more to be done.
Yeah, exactly. That was what I'm saying. I mean, this time,
I mean, for me, I think the status is that we are proposing to change our website focus, and therefore we're in the middle of a transition period, and no one's assigned to do any work right now, right? I think
yeah,
and that's not exactly a good status.
yeah, yeah. It's like it's kind of the status could be a bit in standby due to the transition, or I don't know,
I would make it orange.
standby, standby,
And
everything.
also, we don't necessarily know who is going to work on the website either. So, you know, that is also of concern.
Okay, I would say then. I mean, it's good that we know what we need to do, and so I would say 10%. We are at 10%. So then we have the follow-up CCC board setup. This is bad, right? We listed we listed the most the minimum priorities goals, but nothing has moved forward since basically a month. Remember when we did that? From there, nothing happened. So I would say that since we did that, we have that little list of priority goals that we want to reach quickly with CCC. We can say that last time it was I don't know 5%, and this time is definitely 0%. All right.
Yeah, not much going on there. I thought about one other thing in terms of the management. I think a better way of terming like who is managed instead of like who is assigned to do the work. I think the correct question to ask is who has stepped up to make sure the work happens, right?
Yeah.
And that would
Who are the workers?
well, no, not who are the workers. Who has stepped up to make sure that it's happening, right? That's the management, not the workers.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So, for example, with the CCC board setup, we have like 4 or 5 workers. We have me, we have Alberto, we've got Stacy, and we have Mel. Right? All these people are working on the CCC setup, but no one's really stepped up to manage it and make sure it moves forward. It's not moving forward, right? So it's like we have lots of workers supposedly working on it and assigned it, but nobody's stepping up to actually move it forward, right? It's not really getting managed.
Correct. 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 Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's not being managed for sure. Nobody stepped up to manage. So
I think it's a better term.
mhm,
You know that who has stepped up to make sure the management is happening. You know?
mhm, yeah, yeah. Because I mean, I'm obviously working on all of this, but I'm not the management, like the manager. But worker involvement criteria, maybe that's more like a management role, but it's still still need to do the work to verify everything. So, I don't know what to say there. But
Well,
yeah,
that's the exact reason why it should go to the team. Is if we're not sure, we don't know, then it's like, okay, this needs to be addressed by the team,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I think
Okay.
that's a really good way of looking at it. That the buck stops at the team. You know, the core team is we're all responsible for managing ourselves if no one else is managing it.
Okay, yeah, perfect. We have here LinkedIn. We did the setup. Still, we are in the setup stage, right? So this is bad. Uh, we had just one session. Did some listed.
I would say it's a slightly better status because if you look at the percentage from last time, it's just not applicable because we just started, brand new, you know?
Mm-mm.
So I would say that we have a plan. So the status is not terrible, right? We have a plan.
Okay.
So just a matter of scheduling would be the next step on
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean, we are still at the setup stage. We have a plan in the details. Okay.
Yeah.
So here I would say maybe we are at I don't know. I mean, for LinkedIn we're maybe at 20% because I mean
So
we
that would
cover
make it,
we
so I would
cover,
say it's
we cover
33%. You know, we got 1/3 through the way.
okay 33. Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's, you know, we're saying it's orange.
Orange. Okay. Perfect. Then let's go to the quarterly recruitment round. I mean, this status we have agreement that we're not doing it. All right. So for the moment, we don't have the resources and time to do it. So status is on hold. On hold. We have agreement uh, that it's important to acknowledge that we are keeping it on hold due to lack of resources. But it's something we want to get back to it as soon as possible. But it's important we acknowledge it and it's there, so we know that it's a very important work that needs to happen. And then, okay, then we have this organizational support, right? That we say no work happening. And here I would add, at the current time, currently, no, very a lot of confusion, on the organizational support program. Right?
Why is there? Oh, you mean because the
Because
Aaron?
Aaron was the only one that was clearly in the program, and he obviously put everything on hold. So we don't know. I mean, we
Yeah,
canceled
but
the session.
we do have at least 3 or 4 people who are completely viable candidates to step up and be involved in it.
Yeah, but we don't have clarity on this. It's confused. Who are they? I mean,
But that's the whole point of the work. The work is what fixes that.
yeah, that's why I'm saying in the detail, currently there is confusion.
But I
Because
don't think there's any confusion. I think that it's very clear exactly what's going on. The program has basically been put on hold because Aaron stepped out. That's not confusing. That's very clear exactly what happened. And
Okay.
that's the status, right? The status is that the program is on hold because the primary person who scheduled it has now dropped out. So therefore, we are back to the follow-up process that needs to still happen, right? I don't think that's very confusing. I think that's very clear exactly what's going on. It's unfortunate that Aaron pulled out and is no longer doing it, and it means that we cancel the session, right? But it's not confusing, right?
Yeah. Urgency. Okay, so the details are: we did lots of training, but still no work happening. Currently, the organizational support program is on hold because Aaron dropped out. The work needs to happen urgently.
So, in my opinion, we might want to add in staffing. Like staffing is like kind of similar to recruitment, where it's just not really a top priority right now. But as soon as we launch our new, this showcase website, and if we actively are doing sponsorships and we're actively engaging and building our network in Vortex, it's like that is going to be required, right? The staffing is essential and it's part of the process. Right, even more so than Plasma. I mean, Plasma is very, very important in like having accountability and everything, but if you don't even do the staffing at all, nothing moves forward, right? So I would say staffing is essential to accountability. So staffing comes first. So I would say, since it's the only other thing, if anyone can think of anything else missing here, let's make a list. But if staffing is literally the only other thing that's missing, maybe we should just add that and have it as an additional thing. What do you think? Also, I would put this as potentially multimedia.
Oh my God.
So, is anyone against adding in the staffing?
No.
Right. So I think we should just add in the staffing. So let's see where it would go.
Stop.
So we'll call it like Bouncel support, and we have staffing, and obviously here it's like let's just say that it's okay status. Not prioritizing because we don't have a lot of focus on our board. All right, so at the higher levels, we don't have a lot of cleaning going on there. Okay. Eventually, we will have more. So I think that's pretty good. So I think we lost Alberto, but I think that the goal here would be going over the list to make sure there's agreement on it. So proposal, our status, management status updates. Management status updates include 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 general management updates and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 financial management updates, for a total of 19 management status updates every 2 weeks. I think it's every 2 weeks, right? Are there any questions about the proposal?
Status includes 9 general and then financial. No questions.
To approve.
Hello.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right, so the proposal.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Alberto, we can hear you now.
Okay.
So the proposal is to approve the above list of management status updates, including the 9 general management updates and 10 financial management updates, a total of 19 management status updates every 2 weeks. So are there any questions about the proposal?
No
I'm reloading.
questions.
I got everything froze. I got kicked out.
Well, can you hear
I
the
need
proposal?
to
Just approving the list of
check one sec.
19. Oh, you want to check it? Are there any
1,
questions?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No questions, Vic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Jay, can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Yeah. So if there's no questions, are there any concerns?
No.
We're trying to hear from Alberto as well.
Okay. I think we lost him again.
Okay. All right, so if there's no concerns, why don't we go to the objection? So, Moth, you don't have any concerns? Is Moth still here? Alberto? We have no Moth here either?
Moth? Hello, Moth, are you here? So only the two of us, Jay?
I guess so. All right. So no concerns between us. So do you have any objections, Joyce?
No objections, Jay. To approve the above list.
I think we have consensus at least with the two of us. And we can go back. So anyways, going into the expectations, the core team, the managers oversee and make sure the work is scheduled, moving forward and updated clearly to the team. It's not executive responsibility. The management positions are taken seriously, and we confirm and know what the current status is for the management, including that there's nobody, right? Including nobody. Oh, back to the whole team. And everything is contained within 2 weeks. So managing the status of the work within that, time frame. From there, the primary management outcome is making sure coordination, planning, steps, assignments, and scheduling is happening. So this is the part that's still missing, is actually making sure that there is scheduling and that the work is moving forward, right? That's very important. So does that
Jay. Yeah. Jay, we are on the top of the hour if you want to take a break.
Okay, but do you understand the idea of what the primary management outcome is?
Yes, it's not happening because there's no coordination and
I know, but
planning.
what are you going to do to make sure it gets coordinated?
We should uh, include the team. So
No. What did I just say? What did I just say?
primary management outcome is making sure coordination, planning, steps, assignments, and scheduling is happening.
Okay, so what are you going to do for that? What is the
We
most?
yeah.
Joyce?
We should schedule.
Yeah, scheduling. So that's the most important thing. So when you schedule, what are you going to do?
When we schedule, we announce to the team.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Perfect, Joyce. Okay, and then when you now to a team, you want to update the general manager status update. So I would make a column here, scheduling and timeline, right? I would have one more column here that basically goes over the current scheduling and timeline of what our expectation would be moving forward, so that here for the team. Okay. All right. Got it.
Yes. Column I, right? Yeah, column
Yes.
I.
Column I. Right, so the scheduling timeline is basically if it's not being scheduled, we want to note that. But the whole concept of management is that we are coordinating, planning, taking the next steps, signing the work, and the scheduling is happening. So this is where the actual work is coordinated. So until this is done, you really haven't done the management yet. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is currently just the status updates, but if you're not doing the management, you're not actually finishing the work to be done to report back the management status update. All right, so I think we're done with this. Let's take a 5-minute break. When we come back, if hopefully we'll have Alberto. He can check in.
No, I'm here. I'm back.
Oh,
I had to restart my computer.
Okay, we also lost Moth. I don't know what happened to Moth, but he's not here.
Moth is here, but I don't know.
Not here.
Anyways, I have no question, no concerns, and no objections on the proposal. So.
Okay, so do you understand the expectations, or do you want me to go over them again?
I think I do understand them.
All right, so what's the most important thing that we haven't done yet?
The status updates for
No.
the work.
No. So again, part of the expectation is the primary management outcome of making sure the coordination, planning steps, assignments, and scheduling is happening. So that's the part still missing. We haven't done that yet. So I added a column I, right, that would have the scheduling and timeline, and that's where you actually put the workers. All right, so you have a buddy team scheduled or workers prioritizing right, particular work that's happening on this particular day, and that needs to be part of the status update. Because that's the management work that needs to happen. Because otherwise, it's just nothing's happening, right? It's not clear what is moving forward. So right now, the scheduling and timeline would basically be like nothing. If nothing's happening, that's unacceptable, and that would not complete the status update. So that's an expectation. If people are getting paid for doing 2 weeks of work, then you need to actually be scheduling and understanding what's happening. You could even make a separate column for like who the workers are, right? If you wanted to know.
Yeah.
Right. So you say, okay, who is doing the work? And then if let's say there's no schedule or timeline, then okay, you want to see who's doing the work, and then you want to be contacting them. So you could say, okay, an email was sent to these people to figure out why it's not getting scheduled and what's going on, right? That would be the status update. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. So I think we are good then on this, and we're going to take a 5-minute break, and when we come back, we'll go over our proposal.
Yes. Next topic. All right. 5-minute break.